Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to Bhroman Braapsody, and guess where we are at today? We're at Motorcycles of Greensboro with the man, the myth, and the legend. It's the professor. How are you, sir?
Welcome back home, brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you.
Good to see you again.
Good to be here. And guess what, professor? First video of 2023.
Wow, time flies. I'm getting old.
No, you're not getting old. You don't look a day older than the day I met you.
Like a good bottle of wine. Only getting better with age. Oh,
Scotch. Scotch.
Scotch. Okay.
Scotch.
Scotch. Oh. Yeah. Well, Italian wine.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah. And you know the funny thing, professor? The first video of 2022 was a 2022 Multistrada V4S.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah.
And what are we doing for the first video of 2023, professor?
A 2023 Panigale V4.
Doesn't get any better.
The superbike
of this one company from Italy that you might have heard of.
Little teeny tiny company. Little teeny tiny company who just won World Superbike and the Constructors Championship. The smallest manufacturer to compete at those levels, yet winning them all. It is amazing what passion will do.
And speaking of what passion will do, Motorcycles of Greensboro and the Professor, they've been recognized by Ducati for being the top growth dealership in the Mid-Atlantic region?
In the region, yep.
In the region for not just once, but 2 years in a row. In a row. Well, congratulations, Professor.
Well, we owe a lot of that to you.
Thank you.
And Bhroman Braapsody.
And the viewers.
The viewers, like and subscribe. Because it's key to everybody enjoying this thing.
We're gonna talk about this bike. We're gonna see some of its features. I'll take it out on the road, share my thoughts with you guys, talk about the cost of ownership, and assign it a Bhromance score. Listen to the professor, hit that like and click that subscribe button. We put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. It's me, it's your boy Bro, and I am your Bhroman. $210 horses and 91 foot-pound of torque. Oh my God.
Until you put the exhaust system on it, then you're really skyrocketing, because that's where it really comes in. Yeah.
And not just that.
The Powerhouse exhaust system. And you know we've done a couple. Yeah.
It's life-changing once you put it on your bike. And not just that though, it's on a bike that weighs less than 450 pounds.
Right.
It's 430 odd pounds curb weight.
Right.
And it looks this good.
And it's sexy. You know, the bike was introduced, the V4 was introduced a couple of years ago, right? A couple of variations
2018,
ago.
I think?
2018 was the first year. But from 21 to 22, they had some pretty good changes. I mean, they did some upgrades to the motorcycle in terms of the performance and the aesthetics of it, right? There are some changes that were made. The tank is slightly different. It's actually more ergonomically correct for road racing. It's a little narrower through the knees, it's a little higher through here, and it's a little wider here. The reason why it's wider here is because obviously you're going to want to rest your elbow on it while you're cornering. It's a little higher here so that you can so you can get your knee into it a little better while you're leaning over. The front end is a little narrower and a little taller, so it punches a cleaner hole in the air. And they did revise the winglets to reduce the drag that the winglets were, the aero drag that the winglets were producing while at top speeds. Now, obviously, most of us mere mortals will never really truly take advantage of the benefit of the winglets, because they don't really come in until you're well into the triple digits. But it does create some downforce, and it does help with the performance. But the biggest performance enhancements that were made on the motorcycle is they made first gear taller. So those really tight corners, rather than going in second gear at very low RPMs, you can go into them in first gear at higher RPM range. And they also put a taller sixth gear so that you can achieve higher top speeds. And they made some modifications to the software for the quick shifter, so it's smoother, quicker, works better, and it meshes better with the rest of the bike.
Okay.
So big changes.
It has to be really special for it to have that little Panigale logo on it.
Yes, yeah. You know, we always think of Ducati being in Bologna, Bologna being the city that it's in. Ducati is actually seated in a suburb town called Borgo Panigale, and we all know Ducati as the superbike company of the world, right? So in order to be able to pay homage to the superbike and their true focus and intent, they decided to, you know, because the 916, 996 and all, they all had numbers and they never really had a name, and Ducati wanted to start giving their bikes names, kind of like Multistrada and Hypermotard and so on and so forth. Well, what do you call the superbike, right? Other than, well, the place where you're at. And Panigale is a cool name.
It is.
And we've all just kind of come to fall in love with it as well, and it fits, and it goes with the performance, and it goes with the design, and
the heritage and everything. So
the bike and the electronics. So it has a quick shifter. It has traction
both up
control,
and down, right?
Both up and down. Yep. So that basically means that you hold the throttle wide open to shift up, and you make sure that the throttle is shut off to shift down.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to clutch those. The clutch is always there. You can always use it. You don't have to use it. It's actually smoother and faster if you don't. Right? The bike does have a 6-axis IMU. And IMU stands for
inertial measurement unit.
Yes. You remember? Yeah. Which tells the computer where the bike is at and what it's doing, whether it's accelerating, leaning, or braking, and all that kind of stuff. And attached to that, and obviously there's the traction control, the
ABS,
the cornering ABS, anti-lock braking system. There's different modes. You get street, sport, and race. And then when you put the exhaust system on it, you get the race A and race B. That's the reason why it's very important to put the exhaust system.
I see, yeah. You mind if I do a quick walk around?
Please do. Please
This is a
be my
beautiful
guest.
bike, yeah.
Yes.
It's got those beautiful, what I call devil eyes. Looks really good. Those are the DRLs. You got the little winglets on the side. That's new for this year. It's got a beautiful Ducati red. I love the Ducati red. And if you get closer, now it just says Ducati Panigale. And then at the bottom there, it says it's a V4. Monoshock suspension in the back, which is fully adjustable. Chain drive. That's a beautiful back end. You have turn signals here on the fender, and then you have tail lights that go around, and there are brake lights right underneath it. Really cool design. Gotta love the single-sided swing arm. Gotta love the single-sided swing arm. I love the tail design and the overall design of the motorcycle, man. It looks really sharp. You have gills on the side to let some air in so it doesn't get super hot. Underneath that is that 1100cc V4 that puts out 210 horses. Now this has a 24.5 degree rake angle. What's a rake angle, you ask? Well, draw perpendicular on the steering mount, follow the fork tubes. That's your rake angle. Shorter the rake angle, the more nimble the bike is, and larger the rake angle, the more stable it is at higher speeds, highway speeds and such. Sports bikes tend to have a rake angle closer to 24. As for your handlebar controls, on the left hand side is your passing lights and push it out high beams, hazards, DRLs, mode selector, and going through your menu and making further selections in the menu. And then you have your turn signals, and down below is the horn. On the right hand side you have the buttons for your heated grips. It does not come with heated grips, but you can add them. Your kill switch and the starter down below. And down below is your launch control. As for your screen, when you turn the bike on, it's got a key. You get that. I like it. Green light on this side, red on this, on these two sides. Bunch of warning lights on the side, neutral, ABS, engine pressure, low fuel, engine oil, all of that good stuff. And on the main display you get which gear you're on, your electronic tachometer, your speedometer readout, your levels, engine braking, traction control, wheelie control, all of that. And on the left hand side is the settings menu. To access that menu, you gotta press on the buttons on the left. You get total miles, trip 1, consumption, average, time, outside temperature, trip 2, and all of that good stuff. And if you press on, you can go into settings menu, and if you press enter on the settings menu, you have service, riding modes, pin code, lap, black light, DRL, date clock, tire calibration, all that good stuff. And once you go into the riding modes is where you can customize each of these riding modes however you want it. So you get street, sport, and the 2 race modes. If you go into sport, you can go in and customize each of these individually. How much your quick shifter, your engine braking, your wheelie control, you can individually select all of these. That's really cool. And then there's the tank, a nice seat over here. Now if you get the V4S, this part is red. Here it's all black, but that's pretty cool, and you have some storage space underneath here. But for our viewers, can you tell them a little bit about Motorcycles of Greensboro?
Sure, absolutely. At Motorcycles of Greensboro, we are a group of motorcycle enthusiasts who are here to support and to help other motorcycle enthusiasts enjoy their motorcycling to the best of our ability and theirs. Right? I believe that within these 4 walls, there's, between Paul and Andrew and Brandon and now Kevin and Troy, there's probably well over 300 years of combined experience, motorcycling experience in these 4 walls.
And that's across different categories too.
That is.
Like Professor he's been a racer in his past life. Then there are guys who are great about street riding, about off-road riding. Any category you want, they have it.
There's somebody here that does it on a regular basis.
Yes. So this is Motorcycles of Greensboro, and we've been talking on, and I forgot my watch today.
Oh, but I didn't forget mine.
Oh, do you know what time it is, Professor?
Bro, it's right o'clock.
It's right o'clock. Let's go. All right. So if you guys are new to Bhroman, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. We put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. Let's start off our ride with making a couple of U-turns and see how this puppy maneuvers, shall we? With the rake angle, the weight, and the short wheelbase, yeah, U-turns are no problem at all. To do our second test, the pull test, let me go ahead and change it to sport mode, because yeah, and we'll go. Let's go. You were not expecting a V4 to pull, were you? Man, it's got so much power and it pulls so hard. What else were you expecting? 210 horses? Wow, that was incredible. Gotta do it again sometime. Oh, I'm gonna be giggling for a while. Right, let's talk about the first impressions then. So after I'm done with my giggling and I needed a moment to compose myself. Alright, the first impressions. Well, let's start off with the most obvious fact. This bike is a stunning bike to look at. It's a looker. Sharp lines everywhere and that bright red. That's the Ducati red, and this red is such that when you look at it on HD cameras, on your film or television, whatever, it shows up as this bright orange. It's gorgeous. Alright, so this is a tall bike, but when we come to a complete standstill and I put one foot down, I can flat foot it easily. If I put both feet down though, I'm on the balls of my feet. None of that matters when you're moving though. The seating position and the seating ergonomics are aggressive, yeah. So you have to lean forward for the handlebars, you lean over the tank, but the tank has these awesome cutouts for your legs to grip it, your knees to grip it, and you're actually not very uncomfortable. Aggressive, yes. Uncomfortable, no. Even my legs are not bent weirdly. I mean, I'm sitting aggressively, but it's not. I won't say it's uncomfortable. Now let's talk about the wind protection. This has this little thing here, but you know what? This just looks like the bike you'd think has no wind protection, but this is a very aerodynamic motorcycle. So as long as you're staying within the bike, like you have your knees and arms and body tucked in, surprisingly, you don't get a lot of wind. You don't feel a lot of wind on your body. You get some wind on the top of your shoulders and your helmet, But other than that, surprisingly, not bad at all. And this is a 47-degree day today, so not bad at all. And as always, man, the balance on these motorcycles is just phenomenal. And the design, I don't know how they did it, but it's really cool on the wind protection. Can we change modes on the fly? Yeah, we can. So let's put it in sport mode, in street mode, and I'm in low revs, and this bike does not like going slow. The motorcycles these days, these super sports, these are like top of the food chain kind of motorcycles, right? 210 horses, 91 foot-pound of torque and whatnot. And you would think that these are scary numbers, but in street mode, like riding this bike in street mode, makes me wonder and feel so comfortable. And I wonder, like, how have these bikes come so far? Like, these are like top of the class motorcycles, and yet on the street mode they're so street friendly. Like, you can ride them just fine. I mean, it's just going along quite fine. It's very confidence inspiring as well, at like lower speeds, of course. And yeah, but if you give it gas, it's ready to go. You know it's ready to go, and it gives you this confidence, almost a false sense of confidence, that you might feel that it's too easy to ride, and you kind of forget that this still has 210 horses, and it can pretty much kill you if it wanted to, or if you do something ridiculously stupid. Give it some gas and you'll see this beast wakes up. This beast wakes up for sure, for sure. Seat is pretty wide, and it's not like a cruiser seat, but it's not a super uncomfortable seat either. Like, you think of the super bikes from the 90s and 80s and things like that, and the seats were like you're sitting on like concrete or something. This isn't. This is not. This is pretty comfortable. Pretty comfortable as compared to those. And yeah, the riding position and all of that is aggressive, but it's also comfortable at the same time. Like, you could do like short little trips and stuff without, getting off the bike and thinking like, oh, needing to go. You don't need to go and see a chiropractor after a ride. I don't think you would, because I'm a big dude, but I'm sitting quite comfortably. Let's talk about the heat, right? For those of you who don't know or are not aware of it, Ducatis are kind of famous for being hot. Yes, they're a hot bike to look at, but that's not what I'm saying. They give out a lot of heat. The engines and exhausts give out a lot of heat, and I've just experienced a lot of heat on my Panigale V2, and on this bike, the Panigale V4 that I've been riding for a while now. Yeah, on a cold day, doesn't matter, like, it's still giving off a good amount of heat from the engine. That exhaust kind of loops around the top where your seat is, so yeah, you are gonna feel some heat. Now, the easiest way to work around the heat is just to go faster. So great for track days, or if you get the full Acura exhaust, it's gonna add to the cost of your bike, but hey, it's gonna keep the temps down by a little bit, and it's also gonna sound amazing. Oh, and you can also get heat shields and stuff that you can put around the pipes. That might help a little bit. So, can you use this bike for commuting? Well, it does not have any storage space, like saddlebags or anything like that. But as long as you're willing to carry your laptop and stuff on a backpack, I think you should be just fine commuting. Now, keep in mind, if you are going through densely populated space, or there's traffic and lots of red lights, this might heat up, which is gonna be fine on like cooler days, but on warmer days and hot days, it might not be the best to be stuck in traffic with a V4 or any Ducati for that fact. But yeah, if you wanted to commute on it, sure you can, and you're gonna show up to work with this grin on you, with a stupid grin on your face, and guess what? And you're gonna be the envy of all your coworkers. Good for touring? No. This is a super sport. Its natural habitat is the racetrack. If you wanted to go touring with this, I'm sure you could do a couple of 100 miles with it, like with a backpack and whatnot, but it's not a touring motorcycle. It does not have the elements of a touring motorcycle. Like, you know, you're not sitting upright, there's not a lot of wind protection, there's not this huge windshield that offers you wind protection and stuff, and there's no storage space. So this is not a bike that you would use for touring anyways. This is a bike you want to go stupid fast at a racetrack. A good bike for beginners. Well, yeah, most definitely this is an amazing bike for beginners. Psych, no. It's not just a no, it's a hell no. To quote the professor, this is not a good bike for beginners. Nope. 210 horses? No, absolutely not. It doesn't matter if you're brand new to motorcycling or if you've had just a couple of years of riding. No, this is not a good beginner bike. 210 horses, it costs almost 30,000, and keep in mind insurance is going to be crazy, so, and especially if you're going to use this as your first motorcycle, so nope. And what about the cost of ownership, you ask? So, in conclusion, the Ducati Panigale V4. Now, this has been a bike that I've been lusting after a while, and I've been wanting to film this and ride this, which I did, and this is just as advertised. It's powerful, it's crazy, and it's so fast. It's not the best bike. It's not a good bike for beginners. This is not something you can go touring with. And yeah, you could commute on it, but keep in mind the heat. But those factors being said, this is like a pure motorcycle enthusiast's motorcycle. Like, you want to take it to the racetrack, you want to go fast in a controlled environment or whatever. This is amazing at that. And it's a looker, man. It's a looker. It just looks so sexy and so hot. Yeah, there's no way around it. It's an amazing motorcycle. Yes, it's fast, it's powerful, it can kill you, but it's also very sexy and amazing to look at. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Keep your knees in the breeze, and I'll see you in about a couple of weeks. I'm on break for a couple of weeks. I'll be back soon. Bro out.